Welcome back. Every year growing up, my dad would recite this incredible poem by the poet Robert Service. He had traveled around the world and had spent a lot of time in the north when the Trail of 98 gold rush was going on. And so he's renowned for a bunch of his poems from up in that area. So my dad would always recite this poem, and it didn't matter if you were a friend, family, or a stranger, he loved to share it with you. And so this year earlier, he had a stroke, and parts of his memory are hiding parts of the poem. So this year, I'm sharing the poem on his behalf. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. And the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night in the marge of Lake Labarge, where I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he said with a sort of moan, "It's the cursed cold. It's got right hold, till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet 'tain't been dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed the thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, and on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal and stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, and the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked. This time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge, where I cremated Sam McGee. I hope you enjoyed that. One of the things about Robert Service that is quite amazing is he had the insight to recognize that there was a part of being a person that is about searching for your dreams and your goals. And although gold is the focal point of the poem, everybody's own goal is really their dreams or their goals. And so he recognized that you really have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to achieve that end. That kind of has to be acknowledged with Vanlifers, because Vanlifers do put themselves in an uncomfortable journey. And their goal is the next trip sometimes. It's the next over the horizon. It's an exciting place where they feel that they're living on their terms in this world, and that is important. And the last thing I'd like to share with you is a toast. Not just any toast. This toast has a part in it as there's a gesture, and it's an ancient warrior gesture that is added to all toasts. And it's the ability to take a glass, your cup, whatever it is, and touch it to the surface. You touch it to the surface after the words are said. Then you drink it down and you hold it. You own the toast. Before you move on to other topics. The tapping gesture is the inclusion of those who are not there that you wish could be and that deserve to hear this toast. So, whether you drink wine or water, this toast is going to be used for you today. Here's the toast. To us and those like us, above ground and below, may all your dreams come true. Cheers. Godspeed. I hope this has been informative and entertaining, perhaps inspiring. Thanks very much, and I hope you have an amazing Christmas and a great New Year. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.